My god, that game was absolutely amazing. I know there's a second and third game, so how could the second game ever top whatever I just played through? The characters were so good, and I don't think they can even top this.
In the end, hope always wins.
Notice such a small
That's
detail.
Amazing, really.
Try to prove it to me.
The talent
That
of the
shows
chosen
is
ultimate
ultimate.
Whoa. That was incredible, but what did I just put myself through? What happened? I just feel like I put myself in a blender, but it just wouldn't cut me. All those twists and turns. What? No, who is responsible for this? That was me from 2 months ago. Little did I know that I just played through a game with one of my favorite characters in all of fiction. From character design to his worldview, to his twisted personality, to even his death. I loved every second that he was on screen. Is what I wrote on the script, but in reality, while playing the game, I really did not like him. But now looking back at it, I love his character. I loved it so much that I will dedicate this entire video on the second Danganronpa game to him. Or at least use him as a stepping stone for this game full of hope.
Kill me. I would be honored to help you carry out your plan. I want you to use me as a stepping stone so everyone can shine.
Before we begin talking about what happens inside of the actual game, let's introduce our main character, Nagito Komaeda. He is the ultimate lucky student, and when I say lucky, compared to someone else, I really mean it. It looks like almost everything that he does is somehow related to his luck. We'll get into that. However, he isn't only lucky, but he really admires Hope. Something that, if he was someone else, would have been perfectly normal. Hope has always been an important thing to this series since the very beginning. And to look into that, I'll compare him to someone he would have admired most. Makoto Naegi. When I started Danganronpa 2, I was met with all different kinds of faces and... Wait, is that Byakuya? So characters from that first game can be here? So who's this important looking and almost familiar character waiting us up in the very beginning of the game? It must be Makoto. It wasn't. Even though they're both ultimate lucky students, admire Hope, and Nagito Komaeda is basically just an anagram for Makoto Naegida, which literally means I am Makoto Naegi. The developers even apparently planned something similar, but in the end, it just wasn't true, which is kind of fitting. They are the very same inside of their cores. It's only that what they do with it, which makes them different, from being the ultimate hope to the twisted hope that despair brings. Nagito has what I call a twisted hope. He is someone who wants to create hope no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's natural, artificial, or even created. All that he wants is to make the biggest hope win. This is what makes him so much of a threat in the game. In the very beginning of the game, he's a normal dude, or at least seems like it. But when you finally learn the truth and discover his ulterior motive, he becomes a monster that must be stopped no matter whose side he stands on. Mainly in the first two cases, this only appears as him being an absolutely crazy person, like telling Totoro about his plan which leads to the killing of Byakuya, and in the second trial nothing he does really looks out of the ordinary, but he is just crazy still. However, there was this one point in the third trial where he takes a turn and starts to take things personally.
If you did something wrong, you'd forgive yourself right away! What did I do? Why won't anybody forgive me?
In an absolute twist of events, Mikan gets found out as the killer. After her complete change in personality, Nagito sees something that most people wouldn't notice. And what that was the ultimate despair that Mikan got after remembering everything. Usually, Nagito would say something like, well, guess your hope wasn't great enough. But instead we get dismissal. He refuses to acknowledge Mikan's motive for killing, not accepting it as something that even resembles hope.
I'm sorry, but there's no way I can forgive you. I just can't forgive this crime at all.
What he has, aside from his twisted hope, is what I call a very, very twisted luck. Let's continue the story, shall we? Let's continue this from the 4th investigation. Mekamaru has been killed, and after Hajime finds it, we get to play as someone else. Something that up until this point hasn't really been done before. And what do we have here? We get to play as Nagito. After assessing the situation, he does something that he shouldn't have. Test his luck. He goes into the final dead room, completes the first part, and is greeted with a gun. Playing Russian roulette is a luck-based game. How difficult could he even make this?
What am I doing? Playing Russian roulette, obviously. I've only removed 1 bullet, so there's only a 1 in 6 chance that I'll survive. It's not much of a talent, but even I have an ultimate level talent, you know? I'm the ultimate lucky student.
Little does he know that he just make the worst mistake. Oh, no, it's not his death. What's the problem is the prize that he wins after this game. 5 bullets means that he got the best prize of all. Monokuma gives him something that if anyone else got it, wouldn't have been as big. But him, he wasn't the one that should have gotten it. This is the result of his ultimate luck. Throughout this trial, we learn more and more. What it leads to is the shocking truth of Nagito. According to the files he received, every single ultimate on this island, including himself, was the ultimate despair. The very thing he despises, in the form of a class of human beings. The information made him disgusted. The only person that he could still tolerate was Hajime, who wasn't an ultimate to begin with. So to take down despair, he does something that he thought needed to be done. Kill the ultimate despair. Every single one, including himself. The one key to make his plan a success was a little bit of luck. Just enough to make the traitor, the only one resembling any form of hope, kill him and take everyone down with him. This wasn't hope. At least not the kind that he always dreamed of. Oh, you thought I would say something philosophical at the end of the video? Oh no, not yet. Let's talk about the future that Nagito could have never even thought of. This is the final stretch, the final investigation, the final trial, the final mystery. After this despair will finally end. Right? The next plot twist is my favorite and most shocking twist that happened inside of this specific game.
We're all ultimate despair? Some wasted away to skin and bones through continuous fasting in order to reach the despair of starvation. Others gave their own families to Junko just to perform killing experiments on them. Not just that, after Junko's death, they slaughtered countless people by forcing them to commit suicide. One person even implanted one of Junko's eyes into their own socket. Perhaps they wanted to see her despair? And not just that, some even tried to have children with Junko's dead body. Just stop!
Everyone here has been the ultimate despair all along. The first game's endgame twist was unexpected, but even then it seemed like it was an actual possibility. This was something that I didn't see coming from 1,000 miles. Their mere existence now makes them feel despair. Hajime especially, who doesn't really exist anymore in the real world, takes this hit down into the deep waters of despair. Although, that wasn't the worst, because at the very bottom, there was something that wasn't completely hope, but a version of it. A future. Hajime doesn't believe in the hope that Nagito believed in. He believes in the future that he and everyone that survives can create. In a weird way, Hajime's hope in the future was the strongest hope of all. The hope that Nagito died for.